Hi, I'm Wendy Wild and I work in accounting, and today I want to share with you some of the work that we've been doing in the area of assessment but on formative pieces of work, sometimes referred to as forward feed or feed forward. The reason that we got involved with this was because students were coming to us. They were unhappy with the level of feedback and the quality that they were getting, and they were also receiving some of the feedback after they submitted a piece of work, which under Equal, only 4 units, it is vital that they get the feedback early and they can act on it. So what I propose to do is just show you exactly the type of podcast that we gave them. It's a personalised podcast. On the unit is a very big unit that was involved in this work. There's 220 students actually on the unit, and 150 of them took us up on the offer of having a personalised podcast. They had to submit their draft onto Moodle, and although I say draft, it had to be a near complete piece of work. We weren't prepared to accept plans because we found in the past that if they submit a plan, then all you do is reiterate your requirements. So once we'd uploaded, or they'd uploaded all of their assignments, we gave them the feedback. Okay, so first of all, we set up a separate area of Moodle for the students to submit their piece of work. Then we simply download their piece of work. We always asked for Word document. That was simply because we couldn't write on the PDF. So you get your piece of work, then on all of our computers at MMU, we're lucky enough to have BB Flashback. So we set that away. Now I'm going to record a new movie, and I'm using a headset, so obviously some people just like to use the microphone in their computer, but I'll just set it to headset. And once you're ready to start, I'd always advise having any documents such as your unit, your assessment brief open, and anything else that you may want to refer to. Okay, so start the recording. This is exactly what the students will see. Okay, hi Joe, thank you very much for sending in your assignment for me to have a look at. It's looking good. You seem to have done a lot of work. I can see in the bibliography it's quite, you're quite well read in the area, so I'm just going to give you a couple of pointers to help you out. The first thing that you might want to consider is with regard to your referencing. I can see here that you're using notation reference. So if I can just get my pen to work, I can actually show you clearly. You've got some notation referencing going on here. And down the bottom, there we go. Well, unfortunately, that is not Harvard referencing. So we won't be accepting that on this piece of work. If I can just go back to our Moodle site over here, at the beginning of the Moodle site, you can see clearly, just under the unit handbook, I've given you some details about Harvard referencing, and you can click through onto those detailed notes. Or alternatively, you can actually go onto the MMU library services, and it actually has a YouTube clip of how to do Harvard referencing. So if you want to improve your grade, then I would look at improving your referencing. Also, any changes, you will have to be very careful, because if we just go back up, you're telling me that the word count is 2,648. But if we go to the assignment brief, if we just go down to the bottom where I've given you some indication about marking criteria, I've actually stipulated that the word count should be no more than 2,500. So just be careful if you're adding anything else in. Okay, so that's generally 2 little areas which should move you from a 2-2 up the grades. Okay, well, thank you very much, and good luck, and I look forward to your final piece of work. Okay, we've now saved that, and and the system actually allows you to listen and record what is saying. And I'd always advise doing that just in case something's gone wrong with the recording. So just open in the player and just double check that you have recorded. Okay, hi Joe, thank you very much for sending in your assignment for me to have a look at. Okay, so that is exactly what the student will get. Once that's recorded, we convert it to a WMV file and send it back to the student via Moodle, so they get a personalised podcast. Now it's up to them if they take on board my comments that I've made. We ask for the submission of this draft 2 weeks before their final deadline, and they get it back within a week to improve. I think it is quite transformative. There was only 2 people that didn't take on board the comments, and that was happy with the grade that they got. If we just have a quick look at a summary of the grade improvements for this piece of work, you can see here that a similar assignment was set in the previous year and marked by exactly the same person, and the average mark was 66%. For the average percentage for the draft assignment before any students received forward feed, the average was 65, so pretty much the same. However, for those students that took part in the forward feed, the 150 of them, the average went up to 72%. And those that didn't participate, they stayed at 66. We had 17 students that went up 2 grades and 1 that went up 3 grades from a 3rd to a 1st. So that was fantastic. For people that want to take this on board as part of their assessment strategy, I would advise testing the system. You do need a lot of memory. I would advise working with your e-learning provider to make sure it's all set up in Moodle correctly. Then ask for Word documents unless you have that facility to use the PDFs and to be able to write on PDFs. We've used it for assignments. I know other people in the department are considering it for dissertations and working on CVs with students. So hopefully this has been informative and you take on board using forward feed but with audio visual. Thank you.
If you've enjoyed this Good Practice Exchange film, you can find more on our website. Go to celt.mmu.ac.uk/good practice. Thanks for watching.